Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The path to sovereignty is tough. Now, anybody who's been following me a while, yeah, I can talk about game and all of that stuff and, basically man gets woman. The basic steps, at least that I promote, that a man can get a woman. All right, fine. But anybody who really follows my overall picture, like they check out my money channel, they check out my deep thought channel, they've dealt with me in the real world. My biggest thing is sovereignty. Biggest thing is sovereignty. Basically, a man having control over his life, or at the very least, leverage. I'm gonna tell you what though, it's a tough path. It is a tough path. Because we live in a world where you have many forces that work to control the masses, that work to control what we do. They put up fences and stuff, and then you have people influencing you really from the time of birth, starting with your parents. Now, that's not a bad thing, but then you're in daycare, you're in school, you have all these rules. And especially for men nowadays, especially for men, it's like, well, no, you got to follow this path. You got to follow this religion. You got to do this and that. Now, just to be clear, it don't matter what religion you follow as long as it's your choice as a man. And that's what I'm all about. But it's tough. It's tough because how many men follow just basic things in life? How many men don't develop their own style of dress? They dress a certain way because everybody else is doing it. These trends, they follow the fast, they cut their hair a certain way. They might even get tattoos because everybody else is doing it. That's not sovereignty. That's not sovereignty. If you get a tattoo or you wear your hair a certain way, your clothes a certain way, because it's what you want to do, that's different. Now, when you talk about sovereignty, basically in this society, it comes down to money. Now, remember, when I'm talking about man gets woman, I always say, don't lead with your wallet. Don't use the money to get the woman. But this is bigger. You still need money. You still need money. You still need to be in a place where you can at least have a place to live. At least have a motor vehicle if you need it. At least be able to get the things that you want. At least have control over how you spend your money. And that's an important part right there, because if you have debt or an increasing amount of debt, you can get to a place where you don't have real control over the money because somebody's always wanted, bill collectors, whatever, so that could be a problem. Control over your money means if you have a job, you at least have leverage on that job. If you have to work for somebody, you have leverage. Now, personally, my big thing is being an entrepreneur. Anybody who follows my money channel knows that. And the thing about an entrepreneur, depending on what they're doing, they have a lot of control. And it's a tough road, though. It's a tough road. Regardless of how you want to make your money, regardless of how you want to live, it's a tough road. The money part, that's an important part because it allows you to be viable out here, allows you to choose where you want to go and everything. But even that's a small part, because many men out here, part of sovereignty is having strong will to be able to fly above the masses. That's a very important thing. I'm gonna tell you what, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. And even with money, you might not be sovereign. You might not be sovereign. Think about many pro athletes. A lot of them lack sovereignty because, they're getting paid millions and all of this. But then what happens when they get cut the next day? What happens if they get penalized? What they don't make the team or something? All of a sudden that money is gone. And that's why you get a lot of pro athletes or even entertainers. Yeah, they were making money at one time, but then they're in a position where they're doing where they're doing different things, maybe a regular job or something. In fact, there's been many, they broke. It was like, okay, you were making all that money, but you were a high-priced worker. That's all you were. You didn't really have any sovereignty. That's why I say money is important. Money is definitely important, but it's also the mindset. The mindset. How many men say they want to control their lives? Not somebody else's life, not some woman's life, but control their own life. And I'm going to tell you what, it actually starts there when you really think about it. A lot of people don't have that mindset. A lot of people don't have that mindset. Like I said, from the moment of birth, there's somebody saying, you should do this, you should do that. This is what you should do. You know? Oh yeah, you should go to law school. You should go to medical school. You should go to grad school or even college. Now, if that helps you with your sovereignty, good. But what if it doesn't? What if you have the skill set not to? That's my point. See, it comes down to your will. Your will. Not anybody else's will. Your will. What do you want to do? What's the best path for you and how to get there? Like, education is great. I'm not putting that down, but it has to serve your path to sovereignty. Everything you do has to serve your path. Why are you doing this? Why are you wearing your hair this way? Why are you, working out? The ultimate thing is sovereignty. And I'm going to tell you what, since, of course, on this channel, or this particular channel, many men want to know how to deal with women and all of that. Even that's sovereignty. How many men out here are dealing with a woman or following her agenda? Think about it. Think about it. When you taking women to these expensive dates and doing all this, or even buying her a diamond or something, does that really serve your agenda? Or you serving what she want, having a big wedding, doing all this stuff? Is that your agenda or her agenda? Now, I ain't saying there's a problem with marriage. Let me be clear on that. Or you getting a woman a gift if she's earned the gift. But whose agenda is being served? Many men are reacting to a woman's agenda. See, sovereignty even helps you there. You dealing with a woman on your terms. And that's very important. Your terms. Now, I know some women might see this. Hey, nah, I want that. Okay, let them go to the side. See, a sovereign man has control over his life. He has control over his life, but man, seriously, when you think about it, man, it's tough. It is real tough. And I'm going to tell you one of the tougher things with that. Many men have a negative mindset. See, one of the things, and I'll say this about this general sector, when you get men complaining about what women doing and feeling like it's over and stuff like that, that's not a sovereign mindset. A sovereign man, he creates his own future. He has the mindset, no, I'm going to make this happen on my terms. No, I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. I'm on top of this. Because part of being sovereign is having a winning mindset. I'm going to reshape my environment to my specifications. That's a part of manhood. That's a part of masculine energy. Masculine energy wants to control its immediate environment and expand that control. That's how deep it is. Like, every man should have control over his immediate environment, even if it's a room somewhere. That's his spot. That's his spot. I don't know. It's just like, no matter what. Shoot, you can be homeless and have some sovereignty. If you say, you know what, my tent is here. This is my spot right here. But it's tough. I'm going to tell you what, it's one of the toughest things any man would go through, but it's worth it. And I'll say from personal experience, having the sovereignty, having the freedom to sit here, to wear this, to record this at the time that I want, to upload it at the time that I want. Or, you know what, I can record it and don't like it. I have the sovereignty to do that. And as this isn't to brag or anything, but this is something I've always worked for all of my life. Control over what I do. I don't have to work for anybody else, Got more than enough money. I could stop working today and don't get any money coming in, and I'm good for at least a year. At least a year. But that's sovereignty, control. I don't have to like, temper my personality down or tone it down or tone who I am just to work on someone's job. Because I've done that before. I've been on that. That's why I work so hard for sovereignty, like to be free. But a lot of men can have their whole manhood killed depending on where they at. Depending on where they at. They putting up with some bullshit on a job or a situation or something because they don't have control over their own lives. And it's tough. I still say it's tough, but every man needs to work towards it. All right? So that's all I have for today. I want y'all to think about it. I want y'all to work on it. Yeah, man gets woman, that's one thing, but I want men who support me, men who are part of the wolf pack, the Rom Nation. I want you to always be working towards having some control in your life. And to the point, you're not really even following me. You're an associate of mine. You're an associate because you want to have control. You want to have your kingdom. All right? Your kingdom. Not under some other man's thumb or even direction. Because even when people say, hey, Rom, thank you for the help I have. I say, no, I was just a spark. You already had that within you because you are a sovereign man. But it's still a tough path. But you know what? It's a worth it path. A man should want to stand up with his head held high rather than being on his knees with his head down. I want y'all to think about that. So that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.